For the next few minutes, I'm not just going to talk at you. I'm going to take you through an experience, a shift. Because by the time we're done, you won't just understand what's been holding you back. You'll feel something inside you change. You'll start seeing things differently, not just your thoughts, but the way your reality has been shaping itself around you this whole time, without you even noticing. And once you see it, everything starts falling into place effortlessly. So here's what I ask. For the next few minutes, let go of distractions. Give yourself this moment, fully, completely. Because what you're about to hear isn't just something to learn, it's something to step into. Let's begin. Think back to a time in your life when you wanted something so badly, but no matter what you did, it just wouldn't happen. Maybe it was a relationship, a job, an opportunity, something you kept thinking about, hoping for, maybe even obsessing over, and still, nothing. Now, contrast that with another time when something incredible just fell into place effortlessly. Something you barely even thought about. Maybe you didn't even care that much, but suddenly it just happened, almost like magic. Why does this happen? Why do the things we chase seem to run further away, while the things we're indifferent about seem to flow to us without resistance? There's a hidden mechanism behind this, one most people either ignore or don't even realize exists. First, let me explain why this happens, because once you fully understand it, I'm going to give you a simple but powerful way to start using it on purpose. And when you do, you'll see a dramatic shift. The very things that once felt out of reach will start moving toward you effortlessly. So listen closely. This is the moment everything changes. Your reality isn't something happening to you. It's something responding to you. And this is where most people get stuck. You're not waiting for reality to change. Reality is waiting for you. Think about it. How many times have you wanted something so badly, but it just wouldn't come? Then, the moment you stopped caring, the moment you let it go, boom, it showed up. That's not a coincidence. That's the law. Because when you chase, when you obsess, when you keep looking for proof, you're telling reality that you don't have it. And reality will always mirror the state you're in. But the moment you stop needing it, stop checking, stop trying to force it, that's when it starts moving toward you. Not because you gave up, not because you stopped wanting it, but because you became the version of you that already has it. And when that happens, everything aligns. This is exactly what Neville Goddard was trying to show us. He said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and that assumption sustained will harden into fact. Now, think about that for a second. He didn't say hope for it. He didn't say wish for it. He said assume it. And assumption isn't trying, it's knowing. When you assume something is already yours, you don't chase it. You don't keep looking for signs. You don't sit there wondering when it will come, because in your mind, it already has. And that's exactly why doing nothing is the key. Because the moment you assume it's done, you stop interfering. You stop overthinking. You stop doubting. You stop trying to force it into place. And that's when things begin to move, because reality finally has the space to shift without resistance. You've probably noticed that the things you desperately want take forever, while the things you don't really care about show up effortlessly. Why? Because when you don't care, you're not blocking it. You're not attached. You're not micromanaging. You're not in a state of waiting. And so it flows. So the real question is, how do you use this to bring everything you've ever wanted into your life without pretending you don't care? Because let's be real, you can't fake detachment. You can't just tell yourself, okay, I don't care anymore, while deep down you're still checking, still waiting, still hoping. That's not letting go. That's pretending to let go. And reality doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you truly feel. So how do you actually do this? How do you detach without forcing it, without struggling to feel nothing, without tricking yourself into believing something you don't? Because once you understand this, everything changes. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you. Stay with me. Step 1. Stop chasing right now. Whether you realize it or not, you've been in I need this to happen mode, and that mode is keeping you stuck. Because every time you think, where is it? Or why isn't it here yet? You're reinforcing the fact that it's not here. And here's the truth. If you already had it, you wouldn't be searching for it. So let me ask you, if it was already done, how would you feel? Would you be anxious? Would you be constantly checking? Would you be doubting? You'd be relaxed, confident, certain. And that's exactly the energy that makes it show up. Because once you stop searching for proof, stop waiting, stop looking for signs, you step into the energy of already having it. And that energy pulls it toward you effortlessly. From this moment on, stop looking for it, stop waiting for it, stop questioning when it's coming. Instead, step into the energy of knowing, and the moment you do, everything starts shifting. Now, let me show you how to stay in this state without falling back into doubt. Stay with me. Step 2. Stay in the state. At first, you might feel confident. You might think, okay, I've got this. I know it's already mine. But then a few hours pass, maybe a day, and suddenly that little voice creeps in. Wait, but where is it? That moment, that's the test. Because the second you start searching again, doubting again, checking again, you undo everything. You slip right back into the energy of not having it. So how do you stop that from happening? Make peace with not knowing when or how it will happen. Read that again, because this is where the real shift happens. Most people can assume for a moment, but they can't let go of the timeline. They can't surrender the how. But if you can, you become unstoppable. Because the moment you stop obsessing over when it will come is the moment you prove to reality that you already have it. And when you're no longer chasing, no longer waiting, no longer desperate for signs, it has to show up. From this moment forward, when doubt creeps in, do nothing. Let it pass. Let it go. Because when you can sit in that space without reacting, without forcing, without needing, you step into effortless receiving. And that's when everything starts moving toward you. Now, let's talk about the final step. Step 3. Lock it in and let it flow. At this point, you've done the 2 most important things. 1. You've stopped chasing. 2. You've stayed in the state. Now comes the final step, making peace with the silence before the manifestation. This is where most people fall apart, because after they stop chasing and settle into knowing, they expect an immediate shift. But here's the truth. There's always a gap between assumption and reality catching up. And that gap, it's not a delay, it's alignment. Reality isn't testing you, it's recalibrating to match your new state. So your job? Simple. Live your life, stay in ease, refuse to stress. Because when you hold that energy, when you sit in silence without scrambling to make something happen, it will come. And when it does, it won't just come. It will come effortlessly, naturally, and better than you imagined. So now, you know, manifestation isn't about doing more. It's about allowing. Now, it's up to you. You can go back to overthinking, second-guessing, and waiting. Or you can do the one thing that changes everything, nothing.